Ciryl Gane has recently entered the Ultimate Fighting Championship heavyweight contention after he was able to improve on his undefeated record in mixed martial arts this past weekend as he took out Junior dos Santos at UFC 256. With things going this well in Gane's fighting career, many believe it's time for him to take a bigger step and reach out to some more challenging competition. For example, Francis Ngannou. Cyril, after UFC 256, was asked who he would like to fight next. Cyril assured he doesn't have anyone in mind and that he didn't care who or when he fought.
Well, nobody, you understand who I am? Anyone, anywhere. I just want to do my job, that's it.
Cyril was then asked if he saw himself fighting Francis Ngannou in the future. Gane responded that he hopes that if the UFC makes that fight happen, that it will be for the heavyweight title, since he and Francis are from the same gym.
I think if the UFC do this, please do this for the belt. That's it. Because you understand, we're from the same gym. You understand, the same coach. You understand.
Gane is referencing the fact that he and Ngannou both received their training at the MMA Factory gym in Paris under coach Fernand Lopez. And as most of us know, UFC fighters aren't huge fans of fighting against their teammates. But in case the UFC declares it must happen, Ciryl Gane would like it to be for the heavyweight championship belt. On the other side, Francis Ngannou seems to be paying most of his attention to Stipe Miocic, who he believes has been holding up the division. Francis expressed his frustration in an interview with MMA Fighting. "It's still kind of frustrating, even though I'm trying to take it out of my mind, knowing that I can't do nothing to change it. Even before fighting in May, I've been through this same story, this same situation, and it got me ready to face it again. I was waiting for Stipe and Daniel Cormier, who was in August, and obviously I was expecting something in December. That's why after their fight, I just came back from Cameroon expecting maybe sometime in December because it's 4 months away, or maybe January at the latest I might have a fight." What do you think about Cyril's condition to fight Francis Ngannou? Who do you think would dominate that match? What's your opinion about the Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic situation? Let us know in the comments what you think. As we all know, the Irishman Conor McGregor was defeated in the 4th round of his lightweight title match with the current Russian champion at UFC 229 in October of 2018. But in 2020, and with Conor back on track and running in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, talk has already turned to a possible rematch with Khabib Nurmagomedov. McGregor this week posted his opinion on social media about his last fight with Khabib, a fight he said he was winning up until the 4th round. McGregor even took the time to respond to an MMA fan who claimed the Kremlin fighter was mauled by Khabib. McGregor began to state he won round 1, stating that he had struck the Russian many times. "On the moolah, round 1's mine. Outstruck 3-1. Elbow, knees, clatters. He held on. 2's his, but I land multiple knees, one from standing after the overhand, and one from bottom into the eye socket at Kimura attempt. Not a scratch end of round also. I won round 3 and 4 until the trip. Yeah, not a scratch. Relaxing before I bounced up and beat his brother and cousin around." With all of this said, for the first time in a long time, a rematch between McGregor and Khabib looks a lot more possible than before. But in order for that to happen, each fighter must go through their closer matches. Khabib Nurmagomedov against Justin Gaethje at UFC 254, just like McGregor has a January bout with Dustin Poirier to contend with. What do you think about what Conor said? Do you agree he was winning the match until round 4? And what would a rematch between these two fighters result? Let us know in the comments your opinion on this topic. We'd love to read it. It's common knowledge that current lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov is planning to retire from the UFC. It's truly a shame for many UFC fans, since Khabib is one of, if not the best fighter in Ultimate Fighting Championship history. The Russian has an impressive record of 29-0 and is without a doubt the most feared fighter in MMA. But UFC President Dana White seems to believe Khabib Nurmagomedov will fight again. White said that he feels good about the UFC star possibly returning to competition, despite the Russian saying he's done fighting after his 3rd title defense against Justin Gaethje in October at UFC 254.
You know, I think his dad wanting him to get to 30-0 is in the back of his mind, and he wants to achieve that because he knew his father wanted it. But we'll see. I mean, he and I are going to get together next month and talk, and he might not. Maybe he won't fight. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm a little confident that I can talk him into it.
Even though Khabib announced his retirement in his post-fight interview that night, the UFC still has the Eagle labeled as the current UFC lightweight champion. The main reason for that is because UFC President Dana White plans to meet with Khabib Nurmagomedov next month to try and convince him into a comeback. It's publicly known that Khabib's father, Abdulmanap, wanted his son to achieve a 30-0 fighting record. On the flip side, after his father passed away, it came to light that Khabib Nurmagomedov's mother wanted him to defend the title against Justin Gaethje and retire from the UFC. For this reason, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov declared his retirement. There's also a big fight coming up in the lightweight division where Conor McGregor faces off with Dustin Poirier on January 23rd in a highly anticipated rematch at UFC 257. Many UFC fans said that it would be logical to make that fight be for the vacant or interim belt while the UFC resolves things with Khabib. But Dana White assured that McGregor-Poirier 2 won't be for an interim title, but he will know more about the stakes once he speaks with Nurmagomedov.
Nah, no interim title.
No.
I'll know next month. I mean, I'll know when Conor and Poirier are fighting whether he's going to fight again. So it all times out perfectly.
What do you think about Khabib retiring without getting to 30-0? Do you think Dana will be able to convince him to return? Who do you think is going to win between McGregor and Poirier? Let us know in the comments section what your opinion is. Let's talk about the women's division. The latest news on the UFC women's division says that Carla Esparza defeated Rose Namajunas in the finals of Season 20 of The Ultimate Fighter to become the UFC's strawweight champ. But Esparza later went on to lose the belt to Joanna Jędrzejczyk in her first title defense. Weili Zhang has not fought since her bout against Jędrzejczyk, where she won a 5-round split decision at UFC 248 in March. Aside from this, and despite what Dana White said about her, Rose Namajunas still wants to fight Zhang Weili for the UFC strawweight title. UFC President Dana White said in an interview with BT Sport that he's moving on from the American Thug and preparing her fellow former champ Carla Esparza as Weili Zhang's next challenger. Dana explained why he didn't give a title shot to Rose.
What I'm hearing is Rose does not want a title shot.
Oh.
Rose does not want to fight for a title.
She didn't like the pressure of being the champion.
I don't think she did. Yeah. She doesn't want to fight for the title. So we'll see how that all plays out. So we're looking at, if you look at the rankings and how it plays out, it would play out Weili versus Carla Esparza.
Namajunas coach and fiancé Pat Barry responded to White, denying everything the UFC president said about his fighter. That is absolutely not true. We absolutely want the title fight, Barry said. Who would turn down a title fight? We just don't want to air this out publicly. If there was some confusion, they can call us to clear it up. What do you think of what Dana said about Rose? Do you think she should get a title shot? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more MMA news. Also, smash that like button on your way out the door.